Hello, fellow learners. Welcome to the channel. Today is episode 1 of Science Class Unfiltered, Students' Thoughts Reviewed. And this will be about the science class of Forensic Science Honors. And how this is going to work is I will be asking 3 students in the class 2 questions. The first question being, on a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult was the workload of the class? And to obviously please explain. Then I will ask if the student could sum up the class into one word. What would they say? What would they say the word is? And for actually, I'll say another question is, would you recommend this class to incoming students? That is it. Let's go ahead and jump into the video. On a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult was the workload of the class?
5.
And please explain in 1 to 2 sentences.
We have some tests and stuff, so that's not always that easy, but most of it isn't that bad.
Thank you. Okay. If you were to summarize the class in one word, what would that word be?
Cool.
Would you recommend this class? Would you recommend this class to incoming students?
Yes.
Do you have any additional comments?
No.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult was the workload of the class?
I'll put it as a 5. The class doesn't pretty much give us like a lot of homework, so it's really easy. And understanding all of like the other lessons that we do in this class are actually easy, and it's like recommended. I would say it's recommended for like freshmen or for sophomores. So
How would you summarize the class in one word?
in one word, I want to say it's fun and it's really interesting. Yeah.
Would you recommend this class to incoming students?
Oh yes, I would fully recommend this class for incoming
On
students.
a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult was the workload of the class?
2. Looks easy. It's easy to learn. You can do it. It's just time consuming. You have to do a lot of research. You have a lot to write. It takes a bit to understand, but I think it's a 2.
Would you recommend this class to incoming students?
Yeah.
Well, I hope that helped you guys on deciding whether to choose the class. I know when I was a sophomore, if I heard this, that would definitely have helped me. But I will now give my own personal opinions on the class. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most difficult and 1 being the most easy, I'd say the class is definitely a 5. It's not an AP level or GT level class, so it won't require a crazy amount of studying, you know, studying is usually related to tests. Tests are probably the only thing, or most likely the only thing you'll need to study for in that class. Um, we go over the stuff usually a day before the test happens in class, like as a sort of review day before we do it. So if you listen there, honestly, you'll do well. The tests aren't that difficult. It is basically about the material we covered in class. And we do take notes in that class specifically. It is on paper, but don't worry. It's not like, one of those packet teachers who just gives you a packet and tells you to copy down from the PowerPoint and calls it a day. No, no, no. Forensic science is way different and is a really good class. It's not just notes. We watch documentaries. We also do group work as well and sort of projects. Like the other day, we did a blood lab where we essentially, it wasn't real blood, don't worry, but we dropped blood from a pipette onto a green paper. Don't worry, the paper was reusable from a past assignment to figure out the angle of the blood spatter, which can, obviously tell like where some or how someone was shot, where it came from, But I'm not gonna go too deep into it because that's what you got to take the class to learn about. Um, but yeah, and terminal velocity, yada yada yada. But ultimately, it was very fun to do with my what's it called, my group mates. But yeah, also the class, I would say it is a pretty a good amount of notes. I'd say 50% of the class is notes, but the other half is just, fun stuff. It's not notes every single day, like I already said. Now I will go ahead and give an example of a piece of notes that we did. Here, perfect. Blood evidence notes. It says, how can blood evidence be used? He does a PowerPoint in which we copy it down, but it's not for a long time. Like, it's not an hour of just copying down. As you can see, I think this and maybe one other sheet we got, but the other sheet was for reference, for us to read on our own. But yeah, so it's not too much writing. Don't worry, because I know some people really just do not like writing. But yeah, that is it for my personal opinion on the class. If you have any more questions or you need any more help or with choosing the class, go ahead and check the description. My social should be on there, and I'll gladly answer any questions that you have about this specific class. That's about it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you in the next science class. Peace.